I'm the Hood Trucker, and this is the Hood Trucker News. We back at it again. Thanks for stopping by. Want to appreciate you showing your support. You can also by stopping by, of course. You can also show your support by becoming a member. All that information is in the description. We got my links there, the Cash App, the PayPal. I think I don't know what's over, but we appreciate you supporting the channel, and we'd like to continue. What we're going to talk about today is the rift or the opinion of Steven Jackson. Um, I find it fascinating because for a couple of reasons, right? First, let me cover it. Make sure you hit the like button when you stop in. Okay, so thanks. Let me just get this out the way. Thanks for stopping by. And I'm gonna put the thanks for stopping by, and we're gonna put the link for if you would like to voice your opinion about whatever we're saying on here. Apparently, there's a lot of opinions, right? So we're gonna address them. So yesterday, I went through and I read some of the comments, and they said basically that I was a hater and all of that. Well, we're gonna clarify. We're gonna clarify a lot of that stuff, right? First of all, listen. uh, uh, my opinion was a critique on his interviewing. He took himself out of the interview category by saying that he is a conversationalist. Well, that's like if you're a weekend football player, you're not really a football player because you only play on the weekend. So you kind of, if you suck, then that's why you suck, because you only play on the weekends. But in this case, I believe that Shannon Sharp has a self-esteem problem. Star, appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, we're gonna let's see. I'm Star, the Moonlight moderator. Let's highlight you then. Yeah, we Moonlight is a dear friend of the show, and a friend of hers is a friend of mine. So appreciate you stopping by. Um, yeah, so he took himself out of the interview category. My qualms or my opinion is based on his interview skills. Now, people said I was a hater for that. Now, look, again, you have to define the difference between hater and critique, because I don't think you guys know. I challenge you to go and Google the difference between being a hater and having some criticism. So, we pointed out a couple of things, like, for example, Keith Lee. Is Keith Lee a hater because he goes to your restaurant? Keith Lee, the restaurant, he has a thing on TikTok where he reviews restaurants. So if he goes and he frequents your establishment, and he says that it's trash or it's good or whatever. I mean, if he says it's trash and he had a bad experience, then why is that hate? Yeah, I don't understand. So Ronald Jones, appreciate you stopping by. I don't understand why. I don't understand why you would call that hate. It's I mean, look, if you know anything about interviewing, he sucked. But here's the thing. The reason why I wanted to talk about this today was, what's up, Ronald? What's up to you back, man? It's been a long time, man, since we've seen you. Well, we talking about some things. So, um, Keith Lee, again, let's back up a little bit. Keith Lee is an interviewer, and he's not a hater. He's a critique. So, my critique was basically about Shannon Sharp and interview skills. So, a lot of people call me a hater, but here's the thing: Steven Jackson, who we have in the background, he said that he should have cut Cat Williams off. I saw a video this morning of guy I follow O'Shea Duke Jackson, if you've heard of him, right? He did a video kind of pointing that out. Like, I watch O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's a fellow Californian. I don't know if he lives there. I don't think he lives there now, but he's from Cali and he's from Northern Cali. So um, we agree on a lot of stuff. In this particular case, we don't, because he did a video basically saying, unless I took it the wrong way, he agrees with Steven Jackson. So apparently Steven Jackson is saying that Shannon Sharpe should have cut Cat Williams off because he had uh, invited the people that Cat Williams blasted before Cat Williams was on there. So they're basically I think they agree with each other. They're basically saying that it was unfair of Shannon Sharpe to get Cat Williams on the show and just let him go like he did, based upon him having those guys that he blasted on his show previously. And it was based upon him saying that the relationship, like he has, like Shannon Sharpe has no loyalty in terms of the relationship. First of all, just because you have somebody on your show doesn't mean you have a relationship with them. Do you think that Charleston White has a relationship with Cam Newton, for example? No. A lot of times people bring people on their show for views. In this case, Shannon Sharpe brought Cat Williams on there for views. Like, what are you even on YouTube for if you're not in it for the views? In O'Shea Dukes Jackson's video, he mentioned that an example that Joe Budden has a relationship with Cardi B, and that Joe Budden did an interview with Tasha K, and Cardi B found out that he interviewed Tasha K, and then she basically got, I don't know if he threatened or got word back to Joe Budden that if he released that interview, that she would be upset. And because he didn't want to soil the relationship between himself and Cardi B, he did not release the Tasha K interview. I don't agree with that at all. Now, Joe Budden doesn't strike me as somebody who's independent. Like, he's always been on a record label. He's always, basically, he's not really an independent dude. Like, even his podcast, he's got a deal. He's got a podcast deal. If you, I don't know what Shannon Sharpe's particular deal is, but I would assume that it's probably more on the independent side than not, because when you're not independent, you got to answer to people like a Joe Budden. For sure. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. You're like you don't have the creative freedom as you would. Like you look at the Breakfast Club. There's a lot of topics that they don't cover just because Diddy is one of the executives or the owner or of Revolt. They don't cover a lot of topics. Like there was a lot of stuff that was going on in the news that the Breakfast Club did not cover, because you're going to be talking about your boss if you cover that story, right? And that happens a lot. Like for example, CNN doesn't really cover bad stories about Joe Biden, and then up until the relationship kind of soiled with Fox News, they didn't cover a lot of bad stuff about Donald Trump. So it happens, right? But if Shannon Sharpe is more on the independent side, he doesn't care. He gets a check from his commentating. He gets a check from YouTube. I don't know if he's like, some of these YouTubers, they got deals, I've heard about, like side deals and these other companies that claim that when they you get you more views and promote you and all that, and then you join up with them and they end up being like a 360 deal or something. So there's some kind of like deals that some of these YouTubers are in, that but if you get in a deal like that, it handcuffs you. So you start to like Steven Jackson. I believe he and what's that guy's name? Matt Barnes. They might be in some type of deal like that, because I don't think that they're like solely independent. Again, I don't know about Shannon Sharp, but if you're going to do some stuff like that and let Cat Williams just go off, then I would think that you're probably more on the independent side. Again, I didn't from a skills standpoint, I said it sucked. It's got 40 plus million views. It's entertainment. You have a lot of mumble rappers that suck as as lyricists, but they have popular songs. You got a lot of people that suck at what they do, yet they're entertaining. And because they're entertaining, they sell a lot of records, they movies, whatever. They don't have to be skilled because you're entertaining. Like if you pull up the Cat Williams interview, it's entertaining. Cat Williams later went on Willie D. I didn't even bother to even look at it because it's already been done, right? I made the analogy that if Cat Williams came on my show, we would get 40 million views too, because the Shannon Sharp's interview skills sucked, and all we had to do was be trash, and we could do the same thing. Moonlight, what's going on with you, Moonlight? All we had to do was interview Cat Williams trash in a we would have skills, a trash skill level, and we do the same thing. Now he went over to Willie D's channel, and he got a million or two, in counting, but it's not going to be nowhere near what Shannon Sharp did, because not only did he let Cat Williams go, but he also, whether or not he planned it or not, I don't know. I mean, only Shannon Sharp would know that. But everybody that Cat Williams roasted was already on the show. Ricky Smiley was on the show. Cedric the Entertainer was on the show. Steve Harvey was on the show. And those were the main ones. I don't know if Michael Blackson was on, but he everybody he roasted was already on the show. So that's additionally that's why that worked, and that's why he got so many views. I mean, he set it up. So again, Shannon Sharp is not going to get any critical acclaims for his interviewing skills, but it's entertaining, right? And it got people mad. Got people mad, including Steven Jackson, right? Which I don't understand, because he's talking about, he shouldn't have let Cat Williams go. And he also said that he he's done several hundred interviews, and he knows how to do it. He knows how to monitor and all of that stuff. He knows how to navigate that stuff, right? But if you remember, right, and this like kind of comes back full circle, because as you know, we used to go out a gentleman named by the name of Kwame Brown, right? Kwame Brown blew up on the internet based upon this guy right here, Steven Jackson, and his partner, Matt Barnes, right? As you all remember, Kwame Brown refers to Matt Barnes as Becky with the good hair, right? So one or both of them, I believe, played with Kwame Brown, right? So there might be a relationship there, correct? Okay. Well, if you say that Shannon Sharp should have cut Cat Williams off and not allow him to say, the things that he said, then then you should have not either said, because I don't remember which of one of them said it, but it was either Steven Jackson or Matt Barnes that said that in when they interviewed Jenny Buss, they made a comment that in the trade that Kwame Brown wasn't a player, or he was a half a player or something like that, and then Kwame Brown clapped back at him, and the rest is history. He blew up all over the internet, and that basically kicked off his YouTube career, right? I mean, you sound like a hypocrite now because you had a relationship. You had a relationship with Kwame Brown. That's for whatever the relationship was, and you went after him and basically called him a terrible basketball player. I'm sure he thanks you now because now he's all over YouTube, and he has a he made a little bit of change off of it. But if you're going to be practice what you preach. In other words, don't be a hypocrite, because you had no problem saying what you said about Kwame Brown. Now you want somebody else to restrain the guests, even though you didn't. Like you weren't the guest, you were the actual host that said it. Like Shannon Sharp didn't really say anything offensive. He laughed. O'Shea Duke Jackson pointed that out, like he was laughing and kiki and all that kind of stuff. Which, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like just sit there and stare at the guy or whatever? And look, like who's the so the thing is like, they're upset. Certain people are upset because they're saying it's a loyalty issue. Like you should be loyal to, whoever you have on your show. You shouldn't allow people to come behind them and talk crazy. Listen, man. I mean, it's like at some point, because there's beefs all throughout YouTube sector. There's in the Black community as a whole. The comedy is basically, I guess you could say it's competition, because there's not a whole lot, like Cat Williams even said, there's got gatekeepers, right? That there's certain people that make it. There's certain people that have to go to these parties. They got to put these dresses on and all that kind of stuff just to be able to, be in the conversation. Right. So it's a competitive thing. There's certain people, like you got Oprah. They talking about Oprah holding back Taraji Henson, right? Taraji P. Henson, right? Doing that. And it's crazy. Like you would think that somebody like Oprah wouldn't hold you back. But listen, our own community is holding us back. So it's competition. Right? There's competition in the podcast, like O'Shea Duke Jackson pointed out. The Steven Jackson, Up in Smoke or All the Smoke, whatever podcast, is kind of like the numbers are starting to dwindle. Why? Because there's competition. You got Cameron, you got Club Shay Shay now. It's competition, right? Who's gonna stick out? Who do you go tune in? Who are you going to go tune in today? Well, a Club Shay Shay got Cat Williams today, so I'm gonna go holler at him, and then he blows up and gets 40 plus million views. Now we want to go back and see what else, what other interview that Shannon Sharp gonna screw up. Right? He's got a couple. He's got the Nightcap, and he's got Club Shay Shay. I mean, he's over there doing it. Like he's not a savvy interviewer, but he's a businessman, right? He's played football. He's dealt with the business of football and all that kind of stuff. He's dealt with the TV part of it, where he was over there with the old white guy, Skip Bayless, right? Skip Bayless embarrassed him. Now, whether or not he feels some type of way about that, and I don't know, like he got embarrassed, and it shouldn't have happened, because you look at a Richard Sherman who's over there on Undisputed with Skip Bayless, and he doesn't clown Richard Sherman like that. He clowned Shannon Sharp, and we did videos about that, right? And it was laughable. You're this big, uh, burly, like athletic, former professional athlete, letting some old white man clown you and say that that you were in the Hall of Fame, and who cares, basically, right? So why why Steven Jackson is now coming forward and saying that type of stuff. I mean, now to me, if you did the same thing, to me this is hate, right? Because if you did the same thing to Kwame Brown, like you bashed him on your show. Now, it could have been, I don't I don't remember. Does anybody know if Kwame Brown ever went on the show? I don't think they did. It may have, or may, I don't know. I don't remember. But whether or not he's on your show, you had a relationship. Now you talk about relationships, or that's what the theme of the O'Shea Duke Jackson video was. You talk about relationships, right? They both of them had some kind of relationship with Kwame Brown. If you're gonna not give a damn about that, then why should Shannon Sharp give a damn about a Steve Harvey who's his career's on the way down? That dude's one of the biggest hypocrites it is. You wrote a relationship book, and your relationship is trash. Ricky Smiley, Cat Williams wasn't lying when he said he's been portraying the same old white lady. I mean, it's the same old black lady, right? He wasn't lying about that. He is. I mean, he's known for that. Just old, old routines, and they continue to go, and that's what they're known for, and that's their bread and butter, and that's what they do, right? But you know, if you're gonna say that I've done all these different shows and I know how to handle it and all that, then you probably shouldn't be a hypocrite. Because right now, Steven Jackson is looking like a hypocrite. And as much as I talked crazy about Shannon Sharp's interviewing skills, the interview was entertaining. Not because of Shannon Sharp, because there were certain cases where you could tell that Shannon Sharp didn't even do his due diligence. Like he didn't even do any research. Like he asked him, had you ever gone on tour, these people you're talking about? And that's a Googleable question, or that's Googleable information. You could have already found out with a simple Google search who Cat Williams has gone on tour with. Then you would have known. You could have asked a better question. That was a question of a novice interviewer. You're supposed to do your homework. When you interview somebody, do your homework. Like all the top interviewers, they do homework. They have even if you like, Shannon Sharp is wealthy enough to hire people to go find information, and the people that you interview appreciate that. They appreciate when you do research and look into their career and all that kind of stuff, and you ask them questions based upon the information you got, as opposed to just showing up and just popping off at the mouth. Like even in his sports commentating shows, like he does research. Like I have no idea why he didn't do any research about Cat Williams, because if he had, there are certain questions he wouldn't have asked. And so, yeah, I don't, I don't understand what Steven Jackson's beef is, because he did the exact same thing, right? And if you're gonna, to me, that's hate, right? Don't don't tell somebody that they shouldn't have done something that you did. Number one. Number two, I mean, it's censorship. Like, why are you gonna stop Cat Williams from speaking his piece? If you're gonna, because what's gonna happen? Like Osei Duke Jackson's the video basically said that Shannon Sharp his loyalty is to money, it's not to the guests. Like if if that's the case, the Cat Williams would have never been on the show, because everybody knows that he don't like the people that he talked about, and Shannon Sharp had a lot of the people he doesn't like on the show. I don't know if Kevin Hart has ever been on the Club Shay Shay, but a lot of the people he talked about were on the show. So, I mean, if that's your uh, if that's what if loyalty is the primary like premise of what you're trying to do, then the Cat Williams wouldn't have been on the show because I mean you wouldn't have took that risk because he's gonna go and what are you gonna do? Tell him calm that down or shut up or then he's gonna embarrass um Shannon Sharp because we all saw what he did to Wanda Smith, I believe her name is, on the radio show. She was trying to clown him and trying to say just different things. He roasted her. Do you think Shannon Sharp wants to risk that? Shannon Sharp is not a comedian or an interviewer, so he would have been he would have got roasted and embarrassed. Cat Williams would have embarrassed him. So he's not going to do that. I mean, he'd be an idiot to do that. To challenge Cat Williams, in that type of way. So I think it's just it's crab. What's the crab in the bucket syndrome or whatever? Like us as a culture, sometimes we get jealous of people who do better than us, right? And look, people said that I was hating because I said the interview was trash. I stand by that, and I also stand by if Cat Williams would have came on here, then we would have got the same amount of views because I'm a much better interviewer than Shannon Sharp. But it's entertaining. It's got 40+ million views, and I don't do what I'm saying that Shannon Sharp should be doing, like a Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson is a hypocrite. You created, it wasn't the intention, but you created a whole YouTube career based upon doing something that you want Shannon Sharp not to do. You created a whole Kwame Brown YouTube career by saying some derogatory stuff about a dude you had a relationship with, and that was the premise of the O'Shea Duke Jackson video. Go check it out, by the way. I don't really like to play a lot of people's stuff anymore because they like to do copyright strikes. I mean, I was going to do I did a brief TD Jakes one, and I heard that. As a matter of fact, I heard that from O'Shea Duke Jackson that TD Jakes was doing the copyright. So, so yeah, we're not going to do a whole lot of screen sharing anymore because I mean they hit us kind of hard, the YouTube stuff. So yeah, we're not going to do that, but. Share your thoughts, about this whole Steven Jackson. I say it's hate, right? If you're gonna define, the difference between criticism and hate, this is the perfect example. I'm criticizing Shannon Sharp for his interviewing skills, giving him praise on his views. Hey, he had basically nothing to do with it other than letting Cat Williams, say what he had to say. Steven Jackson is, in my opinion, hating because he's telling Shannon Sharp that he should have done something that he himself didn't even do. So to me, that's the definition of hate, right? So that being said, look at my old friend.
I know, right? What's up, Trucker? Hey, chat.
Hey, what's going on? Let me. I don't mean.
Hey, you got my mod extraordinaire in here, Star.
Oh, okay. Hey, Star. Yeah. Let's see. Is it hate? Absolutely, is hate. It is hate.
It is hate.
Yeah, it is.
Of
hate.
course.
Yeah. How you gonna tell somebody to do something that you didn't even do?
Man, it's straight hate. Now, you remember when he did the same thing? I was trying to remember that woman's name. Rachel was her name. Rachel was a sports analyst as well. She did all the major games, and he had something to say about that. He jumped in that. She was exposed on some sort of tape for talking against Black Lives Matter. She was real pissed because they had snatched her away from that NFL championship, if memory serves me right. Mm-hmm. Forgot the other Black woman, though, that had got that spot. But she was very vocal. But here comes Steven Jackson. Oh, first, he was against Rachel, right?
Yeah.
And then he must have got the call from the commissioner's office because his tail was tucked and he got back on live. I'm with Rachel. I'm with her. She like black people. I like her. You know what I'm saying? Get
Yeah.
out of here. That's right. Exactly, Star. Be hot. But I
you know,
remember him. I remember him, Tucker.
yeah, but you know,
Straight
like
hate.
a lot of times when we get into competition, criticism turns into hate because if you like, he's got a I don't know what it is now, but last time I checked, I think it was yesterday, it was already 40 million views, right? Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes ain't never did nothing with 40 million views. Anything close to that. They may not even have 40 million on their whole channel. But like they're getting competition with each other. So,
and those are
it
big
would
numbers.
appear that Steven Jackson might want to, share some of the spotlight.
Yeah, you think he clout chasing?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He always coming out the friggin' woodwork. Who knows about him unless he clout chasing?
Yeah.
He did the clout chase, like you said. Well, was he clout chasing? No. I think the benefit of him talking about Kwame was, to all their benefits, I guess. I mean, Matt Barnes, him, Kwame, they lit up the stage.
But see, here's
that back and forth was friggin' famous.
Right, but here's the thing. I don't think that he foresaw what was about to happen because at the time, Kwame Brown had like 6,000 subscribers. And overnight it was like wham, 400,000. So because he spoke up and it's like the bully getting bullied by the bully, right? So it was like the guy to get the guy.
The man who never cried wolf in 20 years, and David and Goliath. But I do want to talk to you about that further on mine. I'm not going to go into it totally, but I see where the correlation is, and I wanted to come up and salute you and say what's up. I'm not going to stay too long because I want to prepare for you swinging by my house too. But definitely salute. I'm doing my mod game down there. And you got Star here, my superstar mod. You got Chef motherfucking one in the house. And so welcome back.
So I'm gonna get off here too, right?
Oh, okay. You did a quick one. This is a quick one.
That's a quick live. We're not doing these long marathon lives like we used to do.
Oh man. Okay.
A lot of times, you get to beat the dead horse, right? Stuff like that. But I like to get on different topics, and I got to go and have lunch and come back and get ready to hang out with you later on. So
you got it. All right, thank you so much. All right, salute, Chuck, and then great live, man.
Salute, Star, Chef, #MF1. Salute to everyone here that came through. Appreciate you stopping by. Awesome. Awesome interaction. Thank you for the comments and all that. So if you have any more to say, please continue in the chat. Don't be scared. Go ahead and voice your opinions. Again, check out the description. You could become a member, and you can support the channel in various different ways. Hit all my links and you can go there. But appreciate you stopping by again. We will talk at you soon. Until then, this is the Hood Trucker for the Hood Trucker News.